From factory automation through AI tools to my medical research work, number 1401, October 22, 2025. Gerald C. EclaireMD Foundation. Category, General. Mission Statement. I write these medical papers not for fame or recognition, since I have already lived a long and successful life, though not always a healthy one. My purpose now is to share what I have learned about health, disease, and medicine, so that others can better understand their own conditions, prevent illness, and live longer, healthier lives. Preface. I experienced a hemorrhagic stroke on June 21, 2025, followed by multiple seizures, and was hospitalized until June 27. During my post-stroke recovery period, I underwent cataract surgery on October 21, 2025. Within these 4 months, I observed many detailed aspects of hospital operations. My previous hospital experience was about 10 years ago, when I underwent an ear reconstruction procedure. This time, I could clearly sense the noticeable differences in how hospital operations and medical procedures have evolved over the past decade. My academic background is rooted in mathematics, computer science, various branches of engineering, and high-tech entrepreneurship and public traded company management. Therefore, it is natural for me to view systems through the lens of precision, automation, and efficiency, combining both macro and micro perspectives. This article presents my reflections on how artificial intelligence, AI, is now influencing medicine. From hospital operations to personal biomedical research, I have devoted roughly 80% of my 40-year professional career to AI-related projects, and my most recent 16 years of medical research have relied heavily on AI capabilities. That is why I have been able to produce 1,400 medical research papers within this period, an unusually high level of productivity in both scope and depth. Introduction. The first widely recognized factory assembly line was introduced in the United States on December 1, 1913. Henry Ford's Ford Motor Company at its Highland Park plant in Michigan began using a moving assembly line for mass automobile production. However, true factory automation, meaning the use of automated machines and robots, emerged later. One of the earliest examples appeared in 1961, when Unimate, the world's first industrial robot, was installed at a General Motors assembly line in New Jersey. This event marked the beginning of modern industrial automation. I studied machine learning at MIT in 1973 under Professor Patrick Winston, known as the father of academic AI, although my primary major was mechanical and structural engineering under Professor Norman Jones. During my 40 years in industry, about 32 years, roughly 80% of my professional time, were devoted to developing automation and AI-based technologies for engineering applications, including architecture, mechanical, structural, and semiconductor chip design. Even after transitioning into medical research from 2010 to 2025, my earlier 9 years, from 2002 to 2010, were spent building a foundational AI software architecture that later became the core of my medical AI applications. Through this custom-built AI software, Chronic, on my iPhone, I have collected, stored, and analyzed over 4 million data points from my own body, including both biomarkers and lifestyle factors. Beyond simple data collection, I have implemented advanced analytical algorithms within this system, including the simple glucose energy, SGE, model, the Viscoplastic Medicine Theory, VMT, and the Topological Data Analysis, TDA, framework. These built-in algorithms allow me to perform complex energy and geometric analyses directly on my iPhone. As a result, I can now complete full viscoplastic energy calculations that once required several days of computation in just 2 to 3 seconds. This remarkable efficiency demonstrates how the integration of AI, mathematics, physics, and engineering can revolutionize medical research and transform personal health management. Using this system, I have been able to combat several major mortality diseases. I have personally experienced cardiovascular disease, CVD, chronic kidney disease, CKD, and stroke in addition to obesity, diabetes, hypertension and dyslipidemia. I have also used these AI tools to study diseases I have not yet faced, such as dementia and cancer. In addition, I have applied my AI platform and knowledge of pathophysiology to study broader subjects such as aging process and longevity. These applications show that AI-driven modeling can go far beyond diagnosis or prediction. It can deepen our understanding of how the human body functions as a dynamic, nonlinear, and energy-based system. Observations and implementations. My first observation from Stanford Hospital in California is that, after 10 years apart, its operational process has become highly similar to an automated factory assembly line, faster, more standardized, and far more efficient. However, this improvement in operational efficiency comes with a trade-off. Healthcare staff now function more like system operators than caregivers. The process feels more mechanical, with less of the human warmth that once defined medicine. From my perspective, doctors and nurses are increasingly becoming technicians on an assembly line. This transformation is not their fault, but rather a reflection of the system, driven by Henry Ford type administrators who prioritize profit and throughput efficiency over human connection. Given the current wave of layoffs in Silicon Valley, where software programmer layoffs have nearly doubled in the past 2 years, I can foresee many hospital administrative roles, both front desk and back office, being replaced by AI in the near future. When I think about this unavoidable shift, I feel a deep sense of sadness, knowing that while efficiency will continue to rise, the human warmth in healthcare may decline even further. I sincerely hope that doctors and nurses will continue to keep their kind hearts and genuine compassion toward their patients, no matter how advanced technology becomes. Ironically, nearly 40 years ago, in 1986, when I was developing an early ideas about AI applications for language interpretation tools, similar to today's ChatGPT, I had already predicted this transformation of human roles. My only mistake was in the timing of the prediction. The large-scale replacement of human labor by AI has arrived 15 to 20 years earlier than I anticipated, right here at the same Stanford University campus, where I first conceived the idea of a commercial AI product. My second observation concerns how I have conducted my medical research. Over the past 16 years, I spent the first 8 years, from 2010 to 2017, self-studying medicine by reading thousands of published medical papers without any institutional affiliation. Teachers, classmates, colleagues, or patients. My brain became both my teacher and my student, and my body served as my laboratory. I presented my first paper on diabetes management at the 2017 WHO IDF biannual conference in Abu Dhabi, UAE. During the next 6 years, from 2018 to 2023, I continued in the same pattern: reading, learning, thinking, calculating, rechecking, writing, and editing. However, in mid-2023, OpenAI released ChatGPT, a commercial AI tool, which closely resembled the product I had conceptualized with a Stanford linguistics professor from 1983 to 1984. Unfortunately, at that time, computer processing power and memory size were not sufficient to handle the complexity of natural language computation and other applications. Today's AI excels in 3 areas: vast access to big database information, including millions of published medical papers, extremely high computation speed, and advanced language understanding and superfast editing and translation. Its weaknesses are also clear: it lacks creativity, intuition, and emotional depth. These limitations arise because AI is mechanical intelligence, artificial intelligence, AI, not biological intelligence, natural intelligence, NI. Therefore, I now use a hybrid approach which I call the NI plus AI approach. As one of the early pioneers in AI development, I understand how to combine AI's analytical strengths with the creativity, intuition and emotional passion of human intelligence. This synergy from combining both NI and AI together has allowed me to dramatically increase my research productivity. Over the past 2 years, from July 2023 through October 2025, my medical research output has more than doubled. The most challenging part of any medical research project is defining the research subject, determining the appropriate approach, and selecting the right methods for investigation. After identifying the topic, I rely on AI tools to gather and organize related biomedical knowledge from pathology, physiology, and biology for my in-depth study. These AI tools also function as advanced, context-aware dictionaries, providing richer and more relevant information than simple word definitions. Next comes data preparation and analysis, which I perform using my own medical AI system, Chronic, on my iPhone. I can extract, sort, calculate, and summarize data into analysis-ready tables for use in multiple models: SGE, VMT, TDA, and time, spatial, and frequency domain analyzes all within the same custom medical AI platform. The third step is writing and editing. I draft each article myself and then use commercial AI tools for final editing. As a foreign-born American who came to the United States at age 20, English is not my native language. Tools such as ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini, Claude, and Perplexity are highly effective for polishing grammar and improving readability. However, I am not only responsible for the original writing, but also always conduct a careful final review, since AI sometimes alters sentence structures in ways that can unintentionally change my meaning. I restore any such modifications to ensure the final paper fully reflects my original logic and voice. Recent new findings: after my stroke on June 21, 2025, and my left eye surgery on October 21, 2025, I needed substantial rest for both my body and eyes. Still, I continue my daily walking exercises in a nearby park, about 8,000 steps over 2 hours. I walk slowly and take short breaks, sitting on benches to rest. To reduce visual strain, I have shifted from using my eyes to brain pathway to using my ears to brain pathway. I now dictate my text to ChatGPT, and then copy its written responses into an Apple Pages file on my iPhone. In this way, I can listen through earphones, as the iPhone reads back its written content. This process allows me to think, organize, and revise ideas verbally while minimizing eye fatigue and reducing the risk of falling during my post-stroke recovery. Conclusion: I belong to the frontrunner, or grandfather generation of today's AI industry. Yet I am also an active user and beneficiary, a member of the grandson generation of modern AI products, through extensive use of both my own medical AI creations and commercially available AI tools. I have not only doubled my research productivity, but also stabilized my health conditions during a critical recovery period, all while continuing to pursue what I love most, medical research. The final chapter of my lifelong journey. Disclaimer: this content is provided for educational reference only, and does not constitute medical advice. No doctor-patient relationship is created. You may share this summary freely, but it must not be altered, edited, or republished as your own. All intellectual property rights and copyrights for this article and its related materials belong to the author, Gerald C.